Hey guys, Lewis here, and we are back with more Hearthstone review with Jason, because that's the thing that Jason
Yeah.
came up with. Hashtag
Why not?
Jason's
I,
idea.
I figured it'd be fun.
Yeah, hashtag Jason's idea. Anyway, we're moving on to the neutral cards for this particular one, so we got a lot to go through.
Yep.
Jason, why don't you start off, because it's a
Sure.
legendary.
Alright. So we have Shifter Xeris, a 1 mana, legendary, 1/1. Each turn, this is in your hand. Transform it into a random minion.
Pretty much. Yeah,
What?
yeah, it could be anything.
Alright, sure.
Like the flavor text
Why
it says.
not?
Like the flavor text. It's like being able to play with 3 angry chickens.
Okay.
Alright, moving on to the next one, we have a 1 mana 1/1. The Tentacle of Noth. I can never pronounce that name right. Death Rattle. Deal 1 damage to all minions. Because
Alright.
every day is the day of Tentacle of Noth. I mean, it's
Be a
unstable
silence.
ghoul without the taunt and the free health.
Yeah,
So it's good
exactly.
early board wipe.
Right.
Alright,
Okay.
now I do run this card a
So
bit.
So next we have Zealous Initiate. 1 mana, 1/1, Death Rattle. Give a friendly minion +1/+1. Alright, I'd say this is decent early game.
Yeah, it's good early game. I mean, the only problem is if you run up into Rogue or Mage or Paladin because of all their
Right.
1/1s. Although running this alongside, because I did play it in my standard deck, it's pretty nice because that extra 1/1 buff is nice.
Yeah.
Just that general play around it rules apply here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the next one. We have the Bilefin Tide Hunter, a 2 mana 2/1. Battle Cry. Summon a 1/1 ooze with taunt. More Murlocs. Now you can
More
protect your
brand
Murlocs.
synergy.
Yep. Protect your Murlocs. More
With brand
Bran.
synergy. More Bran. Always more Bran.
Well, you know what they say about Bran. There's not
What?
enough cowbell with Bran. You need more Bran.
Need more Raisin Bran.
Alright. Moving up.
Boo, my jokes suck.
Boo.
Anyway, we have generic Dustboar, a 2 mana 4/1. Alright, it dies to a Fire Blast.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's a beast, so whatever.
Good for Zoo if you can keep it alive.
Yeah, good for Zoo and good for beast synergy if you've got cards to synergize with it. And that's it.
To be fair, he is very boring.
Alright.
Alright. Next up.
Hey, Milrogue.
Yeah. Next up, we have a 2 mana 2/4 Nat, the Dark Fisher. At the start of your opponent's turn, they have a 50% chance to draw an extra card.
Make Milrogue better.
Pretty much, Milrogue right here.
Yep.
You can take away his humanity, but you can never take away his fishing pool. Nat will never stop fishing. It's true. You can't stop.
One.
You can't stop Nat. There's no way.
Anyway, our next card, we have Twilight Geomancer. 2 mana, 1/4, Taunt, and Battle Cry. Give your Cthulhu Taunt, wherever it is. Alright, sure, why not? Give it some taunt.
Okay, Cthulhu, repeat after me. Your mother was a hamster.
Your mother is a Murloc!
You do know where the mother was a hamster was, right? It was an actual insult back in the olden days.
No.
Basically, the whole your mom reproduces a lot
Oh, yeah.
was the intent. Anyway, moving on. We have the Twisted Worgen, a 2 mana 3/1 with stealth.
Okay, so it's Worgen Infiltrator, just with 1 more power, 1 more mana. There you go.
Yeah, pretty much. Surprisingly, there's not that many stealth.
Yeah.
Actually, what did the flavor text say? Sometimes the old god's corruption gives you power untold. Sometimes you get +1 attack. We can't all be winners in the Eldritch Lottery. Fair play, Blizz. Fair play.
Um,
Oh, the Worgans get no love. To be honest, though, they are lore breakers.
yeah.
All right, moving on. Yeah.
I just read the flavor text. I love it.
Yep.
Anyway, we have Amgam Rager, a generic 3 mana, 1/5. Pirk Rawap, which is actually power creep.
Yep.
Backwards.
But, has anybody considered this? Amalgam Rager. Hobgoblin.
Oh, God.
There. I've made the card work. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Moving on, we have the Disciple of Cthulhu. 3 mana, 2/1. Battlecry. Deal 2 damage to any enemy you choose. Give your Cthulhu +2/+2 wherever it is.
Not bad.
Yeah. Also, when you play this card, all he says is Cthulhu. Really, he just says, Cthulhu! Cthulhu! That's all the Panda can says.
That's a good card. I mean, especially with, you know, more brand synergy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you get +4, plus floor, plus the 4
and
damage.
you get 4 damage.
Yeah.
For 3 mana.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, why not? Alright. So we got the Scythalid Swarmer. 3 mana, 3/5. Can only attack if your hero attacked this turn.
Yep. Kind of sad.
Eh? Yeah.
You need your
Moving
rogue.
on.
You need, well, anybody with weapon, really, but particularly rogue. But like it says in the flavor text, if your hero doesn't attack, it's just Syphilid Loner.
Yeah.
Poor guy. All right. Now this one's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a 3 mana 2/2, the Spawn of Zoff. Death Rattle. Give your minions +1/+1. Who's the cute Widow Nyoff? You are. You're the cutest Widow Nyoff in the whole world. You know, once you get past the whole abomination of tentacles, it's actually pretty cute.
That voice.
What?
Who's the cute?
Who's the cute Widow Nyoff? You are. You are. You're the cutest Widow Nyoff in the world.
Okay. I'm gonna move on now. My comment is Baron Rivendell synergy and Zoo. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Squirming Tentacle, 3 mana, 2/4 taunt. Why not?
Pretty much.
Generic.
Generic. Good old tentacle.
Mm-hmm.
The Twilight Elder. A 3 mana for 3/4. At the end of your turn, give your Cthulhu +1/+1. It's pretty funny because at the end of your turn, the gnome is all like, listen! And he just doesn't understand what the Twilight youngsters are into. With all their comic books and rock music.
If you can keep it on the board,
Yeah,
then it's good.
Yeah, put it behind the taunt. Put it behind Twilight Geomancer. It's what I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright. So we have Aberrant Berserker. 4 mana, 3/5. Enrage, +2 attack.
Basically,
Okay.
a better Armani Berserker.
Yeah, it's a Mani Berserker, but better.
Mm-hmm. It's Senjin with Enrage. And no taunt.
Yep.
Alright, moving on. We have a Blackwater Pirate. 4 mana for 2/5. Your weapons cost 2 less. Pretty good.
Yeah, decent.
Mm-hmm. Good for Rogue, because, you know, Assassin's Blade and all that is a bit costly. Warrior,
Yeah.
that Tentacle of Arms is pretty costly.
Yeah.
So, Pirate Warrior.
I'd see it comboed well with a Perdition Blade.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So now we have Cthulhu's Chosen.
Yep.
4 mana, 4/2, Divine Shield, and Battle Cry. Give your Cthulhu +2/+2, wherever it is.
Yep. It's Scarlet Crusader +1 on everything.
Yeah.
And Cthulhu.
Yeah.
He gave her a promise ring and everything. It's actually really good. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up we have the Cyclopean Horror. A 4 mana free taunt with Battlecry. Gain +1 health for each enemy minion.
Brand synergy.
Once again, Bran gets all of the spotlight here. This next one is really good.
See, wait, hold on. Let me
Yeah.
finish.
All right.
I could see this working in very well with brand synergy in like buff priest decks.
Definitely. And it'll definitely be good.
It'd be basically a better version of Deathlord,
Mm-hmm.
except without the negative side effect.
Definitely. And, it's also pretty good if you go up against a zoo.
Yep. All right.
Next up is pretty
card,
awesome.
Our next card, we have the new Kazan Mystic, except better.
Well, I wouldn't say better. I mean, they're on par.
Yeah. We have the Eater of Secrets, 4 mana, 2/4, Battlecry, destroy all enemy secrets, gain +1/+1 for each. So it's stealth, or I'm sorry, it's flare, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Except it buffs him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, we haven't really seen Secret Paladin going around much, but it's still good for getting rid of stuff. Once again, I also had the same initial thought as you did. It's like, it's a better Kazan Mystic. But, when you look at it again, Kazan Mystic, it takes control of those secrets, whereas this is, you make yourself a bigger minion. So,
right.
It's up to you. Do you want control? I mean, they're obviously going to know what secret it is. Or do you just want a big minion that might get BGH'd or something?
Right.
But yeah, I think it's got potential. Anyway, next up we have the Evolved Kobold. 4 mana, 2/2, spell damage +2. You know tactical.
Okay, so it's Geomancer, but
just better.
Yeah. I'd still rather use Geomancer, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I suppose.
Just because it's low cost.
Yeah.
Alright. So next we have the Faceless Shambler. 4 mana, 1/1. Taunt, Battlecry. Copy a friendly minion's attack and health. That could be fun. Especially when you have things like giants.
Yeah, and if you have Bran out there too, maybe. But then again, we had that issue with the Echoing Ooze. Although I kind of figured out, I think I figured out what was the cause of why it didn't multiply.
What?
The Echoing Ooze's effect activated at the end of your turn, not during your turn. So that's what I'm going with. So I think it might do the same with the Faceless Shambler, but I doubt it. Anyway, next up we have the Infested Tauren. 4 mana, 2/3, has Taunt, Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 slime. It's alright value.
Yeah. It's Sludge Belcher, just not as good.
And doesn't have the slime taunt.
Yeah.
But, it's basically Tauren Warrior back then.
Yeah.
But slightly more expensive with a follow-up.
Yep. Alright. Yay, a dragon.
There's actually not that many.
We have Midnight Drake. 4 mana. 1 for dragon. With brand combos.
Brand dragon.
Cry.
Brand dragon.
+1 attack for each other card in your hand. My God. Get out of here.
Did you lose respect for Bran a little bit?
I'm moving on.
All right.
It's reverse Twilight Drake, except with Bran combos.
It's kind of a weaker Twilight Drake though, because Twilight Drake can count every card, whereas this one's each other card.
Yeah.
Anyway, I skipped the page. Next up, we have the Polluted Hoarder. 4 mana, 4/2, Death Rattle, draw a card. It's just Loot Hoarder times 2.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
I mean, what more could I say about that?
Yeah. Alright, well, we've got the Twilight Summoner.
Now this
4
is...
mana, 1/1, Death Rattle, summon a 5/5 Faceless Destroyer. Yeah, that can be value.
Yeah, this is what I was telling you about in the class-specific review part of the Whispers of the Old Gods. I got destroyed by this with the Hunter Legendary Princess Huhuran, or I believe, and my buddy just came online. So he played that and then used it on Twilight Summoner, brought up the 5/5 Faceless, ran this one into one of my minions, and then there was another 5/5 Faceless.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got value. That's 6/6 for a 4 right there.
Yeah.
Alright, next up. We got the Corrupted Healbot. 5 mana, 6/6, and it's a mech. Death Rattle. Restore 8 health to the enemy hero.
Synergy with Akanai.
Exactly. And if you're countering Molten Giant.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's just a stronger heal bot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Oh, Vince is messaging me. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. And we're back.
Alright.
So, next up.
Our next card, we have the Crazed Worshipper. 5 mana, 3/6, taunt. Whenever this minion takes damage, give your Cthulhu +1/+1. Wherever it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, if you put it into a priest deck, you can put this to good use.
Right, you
keep
could
healing
put
it
it in you could put it in priest or warrior, to be honest.
Yeah, or if you just want to counter zoo, if you're running into a lot of that. Next up, we have the Cult Apothecary. 5 mana, 4/4, Battlecry. For each enemy minion, restore 2 health to your hero with Brand combo.
Brand synergy!
It is a good heal, though. But, I mean, a bit expensive for what it is.
Right. It's a much, 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 much better,
Heal
what
bot?
is it? Dark Scale Healer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
I could argue
Next.
for this over Healbot. Excuse me, Healbot.
Next we have Dark Speaker. 5 mana, 3/6, Battlecry, swap sets with a friendly minion. Vojin!
Yeah, Vol'jin
Except
for
neutral.
neutrals.
Yeah.
There you go. If you wanted Vol'jin, but you wanted to play with another deck, you got it right here. And, I mean, it's like Vol'jin stats were kind of bad. I think he had, what was he, 5/2? Something like that?
Something like that.
Well, I mean, he's got good health. It's not a bad trade.
Yeah.
Alright. Next up, we have the Psychotron. 5 mana, 3/4, mech with Taunt and Divine Shield. Annoying Ortron was just too unwieldy and accurate.
Oh, look! More Redemption Divine Shield bullshit.
Yeah, I can run that on Terror again. The Divine Shields know no end. Alright.
Next. Validated Doomsayer.
Oh my god, I've been
5 mana,
having such a great time with this card.
0/7. At the start of your turn, set this minion's attack to 7. So he can't be BGH'd right away.
Nope.
So, that's
But,
cool.
I mean, if you have enough minions, you can take it out. It's like, you know, normal Doomsayer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this card, he's won me so many games. I just throw him out onto the board and the opponent just has no way to deal with it. Alright, next up we have the Ancient Harbinger. Actually, I don't have a standard version. I have a golden version, but that's weird. Anyway, so this is the 6 mana, 4/6 Ancient Harbinger. At the start of your turn, put a 10 cost minion from your deck into your hand. Now, when I was talking in the class-specific part of the video, we referred to Cthulhu being a little unwieldy to draw. This is the card.
Yeah.
Just make
Like,
sure
you
that
could-
Cthulhu's the
you-
only 10 mana.
Right, you could really manipulate it to get whatever high-cost card you need.
Yeah. Honey, can you run down to the store and pick up some 10 cost minions? Thanks. I love how it's in text format, too.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, this one's costly.
Oh, yeah.
But brand synergy?
Double Consecrate.
Yeah. Alright, so we have the Corrupted Seer, 6 mana, 2/3 Murloc, Battle Cry, deal 2 damage to all non-Murloc minions.
Mm-hmm.
Costly, but if you've got Bran out, then it's worth it.
Yeah, good potential. It's not a Murloc you throw down right away like all other Murlocs.
Yeah.
Like I
Plus,
said.
if you have Bran synergy, it would kill Bran right then and there.
Yeah. I've also noticed that Whispers of the Old Gods are bringing back a lot of the, the older legendaries and well-known cards and making them just generally a little bit better.
Yeah.
For example, 6 mana 5/5 Mukla, Tyrant of the Veil, Battlecry. Add 2 bananas to your hand.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those bananas were all the enemy needed.
Yeah. Pro tip, do not bogart the bananas.
Pretty much.
Alright. We have the Nerubian Prophet. 6 mana, 4/4. At the start of your turn, reduce this card's cost by 1.
Mm-hmm. So...
you could get a generic 4/4 for free.
Pretty much. I mean, them Nerubians, they require sustenance.
Yep.
It's alright. I mean, this is actually a card I wouldn't mind having in my starting hand. Might be a little annoying at first, but could work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, next up we have the Scaled Nightmare. 6 mana, 2/8 dragon. At the start of your turn, double this minion's attack.
No!
Yes!
No!
And I love the flavor text. I like it because it scales.
You don't need dragon bullshit. No!
Yes. Yes.
No! No!
Put this in a paladin, buff up its attack, and then all of a sudden it's a 16/16.
No!
Oh no, just 16/8, sorry.
I'm moving on now to the Scarum Cultist. 6 mana, 7/6 battle cry. Give your Cthulhu +2/+2. Wherever it is.
I love how they kind of describe him as like a montage of Rocky, basically.
Yeah.
I've ran this card in my Cthulhu deck. It's actually really good. It's a nice little threatening card that the enemy kind of just like, oh, I need to take that down because it has 7 attack. And I can do it because it only has 6 health.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, next up we have the Bog Creeper. 7 mana for 6/8 Taunt. It's just Fen Creeper, but more expensive and slightly better.
Right. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
Now we have the Grotesque Dragonhawk. 7 mana, 5/5 Wind Fury. Okay, so it's the Harpy.
Pretty much.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Harpy is like 4/5, 6 mana with Wind Fury. This is like 1 mana more with 1 more attack, and it's Dragonhawk.
Right.
Well, I mean, it could work, but it's too expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, regular Dragonhawk is actually better. You can buff it up a little bit and then do like, what, 12 to 15 damage with it the following turn if you play it right with Shaman.
Yeah.
Alright, next up is my particular favorite, and I'm really, really tempted to craft this right now. We have a 7/6/6 Hogger, Doom of Elwyn. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/2 Null with Taunt.
That could be fun with warriors.
Yeah, it could be fun with warriors. I definitely think it would be better in Priest, because then you could just keep healing it. And just use a Hogger as a damage sponge. Just punch minions with it.
See, my idea is to run it in like damage control warriors with like bolster.
Yeah, I suppose.
I could see a lot of synergy going with that.
I mean, taunt decks usually go well with Hogger, any way you look at it, though. But the way I was looking at it is, like, I was considering, use Hogger, like, unlike before with normal Hogger, you would try to protect Hogger so it could keep pumping out Nulls. This time, you can just use Hogger to control the board, and if you're a priest, just heal him back up, and then he gets the taunt out of it.
Yeah.
That's how I want to look at it anyway. This next one's pretty cool.
So we have the Twin Emperor of Valklor. 7 mana, 4/6 Taunt. Battlecry, if your Cthulhu has at least 10 attack, summon another Emperor. Summon another one of him.
Not him. There's another version of him. I forgot what his name was. Vajish or something like that. They were in the Cthulhu raid right before you fought Cthulhu. They were just 2 Emperor twins.
Okay.
I'm 2 minutes older, therefore we burned this village.
Hey, guess what? More brand synergy.
Yep. Now you can have 3 emperors. Oh, the untold story. Their mother never told them about their long-lost 3rd brother. Or maybe sister. You never know. All right, next up.
I like the flavor text on this one.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Doom Caller. 8 mana for 7/9. The battle cry is give your Cthulhu +2/+2. If it's dead, shuffle it into your deck. And all the buffs still apply.
Hello, Dr. Doom's Pizza?
Hello,
That's
is
basically
Doom...
my comment for this card.
Hello, is Doom there? No? Can I leave a message?
Dr. Doom's Pizza!
This is actually a really good card, though. It's like, you know, when I played Cthulhu and then it got destroyed by BGH, you could throw out Doom Caller and it's just like, he's back in the deck. You can't kill the old god. He just goes back to sleep. Alright.
So, we've got Eldritch Horror. 8 mana, 6/10. Generic.
I mean, he's Eldritch Horror. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, he's a slightly better War Golem.
Yeah.
Alright.
I like this thing's name.
Yeah. You should read the flavor text. Anyway, we have an 8 mana legendary 6/7 here. The Boogie Monster. Whenever this attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2.
He has 20 years of training in classical ballet, but all he ever gets asked to do is boogie.
Boogie, 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 boogie. I do like this card. I mean,
Me too.
it does run into the trap of like Gruul, the classic legendary.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a big removal target. I mean, if you can keep it alive, great, but it's pretty vulnerable out there.
Yeah.
All right, now this one's fun.
Right. So we have Blood of the Ancient One, 9 mana, 9/9. If you control 2 of these at the end of your turn, merge them into the Ancient One.
Yeah.
What's that?
I haven't seen the Ancient One just yet. I do have 2 of these, but I haven't been able to run them together yet. Honestly, I feel like this is really hard to pull off, quite honestly.
Right.
Because it's pretty much like the case of getting Voltron out. There's a lot of things you got to consider. There's, you know, the other person's probably thinking of, I got to run removal because he may be running another one. Or just purely, it's a big thing, I don't want to deal with it. So, yeah. I mean, what I could think of considering with this is literally only Ramp Druid is the only possibility I can think of possibly pulling it off with ease anyway. Alright, moving on. We have Sogoth, the Slitterer. 9 mana for 5/9. Yeah, Sogoth. Taunt. Can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Aha!
I'm so goth, I can't be targeted by anything. I have to be alone.
His skull does become a tourist attraction, though.
I don't see why this is a legendary, to be honest with you.
It's mainly well, I mean, if you play WoW, but that's pretty much all we can really justify it by. I can see its whole thing being not targeted by hero powers and spell being good, so you have to rely on pure minions to get through this, or effects. Or AoE, like Twisting Netter or Doom. Yes.
So the next card, we have the worst card ever. We have Deathwing Dragonlord, a 10 mana, 12/12 dragon with Death Rattle. Put all dragons from your hands into the battlefield, and we're done with this card.
No, we're not done with it. All right.
No, we're done.
Anybody who knows Deathwing obviously knows that it's a pretty risky play. You're throwing your entire hand at a whole board clear and a 12/12 dragon on the board. At least with Dragonlord Deathwing, you have a chance after you play him, once he dies at least, because then your board is not just completely empty and you don't have a hand. And honestly, like the flavor text says, to his credit, Deathwing really took to heart the feedback he was receiving that he needed to be more of a team player. Yeah. Alright, so next up we have the Faceless Behemoth, a generic 10/10 for 10. Yeah. I mean, his rejected names are 40-foot Faceless, Big Ol' No Face, Huge Creature Sans Face, Teddy. What more can we say?
Alright. Next we have Enzoth the Corruptor. 10 mana 5/7 Battlecry. Summon your Death Rattle minions that died this game. That could be fun.
Yep. Honestly, I could say this definitely has a place in Death Rogue and Death Hunter. Possibly Death Priest. Alright, next up we have Yogg-Saron, Hope's End, and you'll love this. He is a 10 mana, 7/5 Battlecry. Cast a random spell for each spell you've cast this game. Targets chosen randomly.
Yeah, I saw Trollden do a highlight of this with brand synergy.
Yep. It's great.
I want this.
There is no end to the chaos that Yogg-Saron can bring.
I want this card.
I have one. It's fun. Plus, you know, he's green too. That's awesome.
Alright.
Alright.
Final card, we have Ysarj
Yeah.
Rage Unbound. A 10 mana 10/10. At the end of your turn, put a minion from your deck into the battlefield. Well, if you hold out that long, it won't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, because you won't have much of a deck left anyway.
At that time, I mean,
really,
if you could pull this out with Astral Communion, that'd be great.
Yeah, like Astral Communion, like Paladin Giant decks, those kind of things.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And lastly, since he didn't show up in the crafting list because I was checking on my side, Cthulhu himself. 10 mana, 6/6 Cthulhu, Battlecry, deal damage equal to this minion's attack randomly split among all enemies.
Sure, why not?
Cthulhu's least favorite Hearthstone card is an eye for an eye. Because Cthulhu's basically a giant eye.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't have Cthulhu on my list, even though I have him, but alright.
For some reason, he doesn't show up in the crafting list because he's uncraftable.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably make a golden version of him, right? Let's see.
Alright, but here he is.
Yeah, you can make a golden version of him, but that's about it. Alright. So that's pretty much all of the Whispers of the Old God cards that we have gone through. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll probably be doing some videos of us going against each other with some of the new cards and experimenting with the new decks. Obviously, I gotta revise a lot of my old decks because, honestly, screw playing standard format. I'll stick with Wild. You know, it's Wild Wild West with Hearthstone. Any last comments about the new expansion, Jason?
Bran everywhere.
Brand everything. Brand everything.
You need Bran in every single deck.
You want some brand cereal with that?
You want some Raisin Bran with that? I got you.
I got you. Alright, but that's pretty much it for this Hearthstone review with friends. We may do more of this in the future depending on, you know, how Hearthstone does with its expansions. But we'll get back to the usual thing of, you know, being salty with one another and hyena laughing and playing cards. I mean, if you at all enjoy watching this at all, because, you know, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe for more. We hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
See ya.